Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is Stock Trade Ideas. Today is Sunday, August 24th, 2014. So this is for the week of the 25th. We're going to take a look at 5 trade ideas we exited last week, 3 trade ideas we are currently in, and 3 more new trade ideas. So the total of actually 11 trade ideas, but 10 stocks. Okay, we're going to start off with Whole Foods. So Whole Foods, I entered back here on the 11th, and then we exited on, what is this day? The 21st, which is Thursday. We exited here, been in 9 days, and we actually got a close below the previous 2 days, and I thought, okay, it's time to get out of there. Plus, it was two closes below the 10 in here, and with the 21 below the 55, I just was kind of thinking that's a little negative. So, we got out of that position, and actually I am still in it, but I have reversed and are now in puts. And then, of course, the next day, it pops up a little bit. So we'll see. I'll have a stop on the Trade Ideas page talking about a stop as to where I'll exit. And I will not reverse again. If I'm wrong on 2 in a row, I'm not going to sit here and play this, get whipped back and forth, back and forth. If I'm wrong 2 in a row, we're out of sync or the stock is real choppy. And that is one thing I'm a little bit wary about on Whole Foods down here. When it's trying to get going, sometimes it does a little bit of this kind of stuff. And so it's I'm a little wary right now, but I'm in puts on this one, which we got in right here when we flipped and it was near the close. So that covers Whole Foods. Let's go to Apple. Apple, we got out of on, I don't have the entry in. Actually, I remember the entry was right around in here, I believe. We went long. I thought we had an ending diagonal that was forming in here, a small 5th wave that was completing this third sub-minuet, or I guess I call it a minute wave, third minute wave, and so this looks like it's up in here. This looks like it's completing. We got in here, and I got out on, I think it was right in, yeah, it was this, let's see, what's the high? It was this day. It was on the 20th. I remember, yeah, or no, actually, I'm sorry. It was the 19th, because the high that day was 100.68. And I remember thinking, okay, my target was 101. And I was thinking, okay, we got within 32 cents of the target. That's close enough for me. We've been up 5 days in a row. Time to exit the options, the calls. So it was nice. We made a nice trade. I mean, yeah, so it was, that worked out pretty well. So right now, I think we're up in here in the area where I think it's gone as far as I think it's going to go. Now, what I'm looking for on Apple is a 4th minute wave. So I'm looking for a 4th wave to come back. And basically, here's the 2nd wave. So this has been a very strong 3rd wave. And so we're looking for a 4th wave correction. And the 2nd wave in here was kind of a zigzag. So, and the fact that this 3rd wave is extended, I'm looking for a fairly shallow 4th wave, and I wouldn't be surprised if it just does a pullback back into this area. That's what I'm looking at. And then, of course, then the next wave is a 5th wave, which should exceed this and go on. And we'll have to look to see, once we get the little correction in here, we'll look to see where it goes. But that's it on Apple. No specific play for Apple right now. We're out of that option call position. Okay, the next one is Rackspace. We got into Rackspace here on this day. Had a setup which I've talked about before, which was Linda Ratsky's Turtle Soup plus one play. And it's worked out very, very well. We exited half the position on this day. I'm still in the other half. And I would be just exiting, since we're closing above the Keltner channel here, I would be exiting here up in this area, except for the fact that the ADX has turned, and the ADX has started to turn up and it's at 25. And so I like that. It looks like it's wanting to start to trend a little bit, so it's starting a little bit of trending action. So I'm going to try to ride this this second half of this position. Okay. The next one we got out of is US Steel, and it was the last portion of our options on this. We originally got into it here on July 28th, caught this really nice move, got out of 8 out of 18 here. That left 10, got out a half of the remaining here, and got out a half the remaining 5 here on the close below the previous 2 days. Now, this could continue up. That's fine. I had to have some kind of trailing stop. I used this one. I could have a more aggressive, or not aggressive, but a little looser trailing stop. I just didn't want to give back so much profit. So who knows where this is going to go right now, and could keep going or it could pull back. So right now that was a very nice trade for us. It's actually one of the better trades. So and I needed it to offset this trade, which was a stinky trade. So we got in. Let me blow this up. And I looked at this earlier, and I'm just kind of wondering about Keurig Green Mountain. But we got into puts here. It basically kept trending and coming down their way and coming down. I really kept waiting for this thing to break, waiting for it to break, and it didn't break. So I had to stop here and got out on this day, and we salvaged a little bit, but we lost, a substantial portion. I talked about this before when we got out during the week. So now, you got this big bounce up in here on Keurig, and I'm not, presenting any kind of new trade position or anything right now. I'm still just not convinced. I mean, I've relooked at the wave structure back in here. I'm still convinced we had 5 intermediate waves up into here and completed another major move. And I really felt like what we're doing, we had this 3-wave move down here, which told me that we would be in a flat correction. And, and it is a zigzag. And it's just way too shallow to be the only correction that we've got in here. Okay. And so I'm still thinking that we've got some kind of ABC. This could be B. I mean, here's the possibility. And I've got to, I'll look at it again. But right now, here's what I'll do is I'll do this and put a question mark. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. And we'll look to see, did we get some kind of 1, 2, 3 move in here? We'll see what kind of follow through happens on this move. Now, I mean, Green Mountain's very gappy when it moves. I mean, here's I'm gonna point out because I looked at this earlier. Gap, 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 and I mean gap, gap, gap. I mean, it gaps all over the place, and it will gap down as well as up. Well, look at this little island that it did right back in here. Gap, gap. So, here's another one at the top. So it's a very, very gappy type stock. And right now, I'm just wary of this. And given what I've seen with the entire move, and here's why. Because I think, this thing has had a big move. And when you look at it on a weekly, and I've talked about this on individual stock, on an individual video before, I feel like we are in a 5th wave and topping up in here. And therefore, that's why I felt like, okay, we were in the play that we were in. But be that as it may, now we've got this big move and just going to have to sit back and watch and see what it does. So anyway, that's Keurig Green Mountain. And let's get into some of the stocks that we're currently in. Seagate Technologies, we got in on this date. It has yet to hit our target. It's getting closer and closer. And again, the data all around targets, stops, all that kind of stuff is on the Trade Ideas page on my web page. If you're not a subscriber, simply subscribe. It gives you access to it and updates and all that kind of stuff when I post. So But we're getting closer. So right now this is tracking, it's doing well. I do think we're in a fifth wave, but right now I'm thinking that this wave structure is looking like it wants to keep pushing higher. So, but we are getting to the top of Keltner channel. We'll see where it goes. I'd like to hit an initial target because that's when I like to take off at least half the position on initial target. KNDI Technologies, we got in here, started to go very well, broke this trend line, and then it reversed here, okay? And I think this was the day when China, the flash PMI manufacturing index came out and it was below expectations and all the Chinese stocks sold off. So that's what happened here. Now, if this is some kind of symmetrical triangle, then it's not unusual to see a pullback right into the apex here, okay, and then turn and go. But I got to admit, I didn't like this action, okay? So we've got to stop to get out, and we'll just have to watch and see. Right now, I mean, based on the triangle, I've got a targeted kind of dotted line where I think it can move to, and actually it measures with some kind of cup and handle type thing. I mean, I think I've pointed that out before that, this is a potential little, cup and handle, and you got this thing here. So that trend line. So that's KNDI. We're in. It hasn't hit our target yet, and so we're still in it with 100% of the position. And Whole Foods we already talked about. So those are the three positions that we're in. I feel like I'm missing one. No, I guess that's it. RAX I talked about. And oh yeah, we talked about RAX, so I'm still in for half. That's the other one. Sorry about that. So that's the fourth one that we're in, because I knew I was in four. Okay, so let's talk about three that we're looking at for tomorrow and see if they'll pan out. Okay, so CTRP. I'm looking for this to continue pushing higher. I'm bullish. I mean, I like the formations. The moving averages are aligned. We did get a couple little closes below the 10 here, but we don't have super strong divergence. It's it's a little slight here because this high is only 40 cents higher than this high. It's just not a big divergence to me. And this pullback is right to almost like right at the 49.57 on the RSI. That's the middle of the range. And if you're in a lot of times you get support in here in the 40s and around the 50 when you're in an upward trending move. So I'm looking for an entry to get calls, but it's going to be up in here. It's not near the close of Friday. Okay, I just want to be clear. This has got to show me it wants to start moving in that direction, and then when it hits my buy point, I'll be in. Okay, so that's it on CTRP, because I think right now it's corrected. I think it's wanting to keep pushing higher, and it looks good. So we'll see if that cooperates. The next one is e-commerce dang, China dang, e-commerce China dang. Maybe it isn't dang. I thought it was. All right, so similar type thing. We've had primary wave 1, primary wave 2 pullback, and we're in a 5-wave move here. I'm expecting, because this third minor wave, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. This third minor wave was not super strong, and it didn't extend. Okay, I'm looking for this 5th wave to push. Okay, I'm looking for this 5th wave to extend. So again, now we got this close back above the 10 here. I think it was Monday we were looking at, when's the 18th? The 18th's Monday. Tuesday we were looking to get an entry. We got within a penny of the entry point, and it turned around and came. And so literally it's stalled out the last 4 days. So it hasn't done anything. Now we're getting this close back above the 10. I like this. All the moving average of 10s above the 21, above the 55, above the 233. They're all aligned. I think this thing is trending this way. So right now I'm going to be looking for an entry point up above here to get in and see if it will take off. Okay, so that's dang. And then the last one is another Chinese stock, SFUN Holding, SFUN. And This is another one that we were in, made some profit, I believe. I can't remember exactly. I think we did. We got in right around in here, and then we got stopped out. Maybe we didn't. I can't remember. It's on the page anyway. And so now it's gone sideways. It hasn't sold off. It's held. It's gone sideways. The 10 is just slightly above the 21. Above the 55. Now they're all down here below this 233, but there's just, it looks like we've had a big correction. Okay, let me zoom out of SFUN. Okay, so here's the move. Here's where I think we've had 5 waves and an extended 5th wave, and creates a primary wave 1, which now corrects back to primary wave 2. Which is why I'm looking. It was a very complex correction in here, and I've talked about that. But this trend line, okay, has been broken. And so now we could be doing sideways chop, okay? We could be doing sideways chop. That's very possible. But right now, it looks like, and I'm going to be looking for a move again up, you know, for it to start to go here a little bit and then get an entry. And there's a couple of things that are going on in addition to the, you know, the LA wave look and just looking at the stock and the way it's trading. And let me show you that. There's possible head and shoulders, okay? Which is why I've got this dotted line across the neckline, okay? And so if that goes, then that will happen, okay? There is a possible, and you see this dark line I've got here, a possible little cup and handle, that if this goes, okay, then, you know, then you get this cup and handle move that would measure, you know, this distance up above here, and then, you know, it gets, you start targeting where's, you know, where is previous resistance come in, and you start looking at that. I would guess around 14.5, maybe, you know, we'll have to see, you know, so we'll just take one step at a time. First, we got to get it to go, okay? So right now, that's my next play on SFUN. It looks like it's held in here, but we need this thing to start moving a little bit and then break that trend line and pop. So, all right, so that's the next one we're looking for. I will have the details of the trade ideas out on that page by this evening. So we'll have that all updated. All right, that's it for today. And I'll be back tomorrow night, Monday night, with a stock market update. And we'll take a quick review of how the trade ideas are panning out and where things are. So that's it for today. Have a great rest of the Sunday, and please share the video if you thought it was helpful with you. Please share the video on social media, and if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Just hit the little red box here on the screen and you'll be good to go. First name and email. Have a great Monday, everyone.